Now, but first, new concerns for parents whose kids are being forced to wear masks in schools. From Washington State to California, students are fed up and are staging walkouts in protest. And in Virginia, students in several districts will have to continue wearing masks after a judge temporarily blocked Governor Youngkin's executive order to make schools mask optional. Now, the governor's press secretary slamming the ruling, tweeting in part, "This is not a pro-mask or anti-mask debate. It's about parents knowing what's best for their child's health." And backlash growing over a California substitute teacher who berated a student for wearing a thin blue line mask to honor his father, who is a police officer. Here's what happened in that classroom.
It's the new Confederacy flag.
No, it's not.
That's what you're doing. Well, we can't do the Confederate, but we can put up red, white, and blue. No, it's black, white, with some blue line in it.
Yeah, thin blue line.
Yeah, but it's not American.
It's like, what is going on there? Let me go right to you, actually, on this, Alicia. This is a very good example of the madness that we very rarely see in classrooms, but now everybody, thank goodness, has their phone and their camera. What's your take on this?
Yeah, thank God that the kids had their phone, right, and were able to record on this. Otherwise, it would just be their word against this substitute teacher. I find it infuriating. And I should note that the substitute teacher there, according to the mom of that kid who was wearing that mask, the principal said that he's no longer going to be working at that school, but which brings to mind the question, will he be working at other schools? It's really sad and really icky timing, because you think about the members of law enforcement who were laid to rest this past week. You have this son of a law enforcement member who is trying to honor his father, only to be berated and embarrassed by his substitute teacher.
Yeah, in front of everyone, that teacher seemed to not even know what he was talking about, but that's also nothing new. I want you guys to hear, this is from the student who was berated by that teacher and his mom on what unfolded in the classroom.
I was sitting down doing my work, and he sat in the desk behind me. He told me it was not a real American flag. He kept saying that it's un-American.
Everybody is just extremely shocked and obviously angry and pretty heartbroken that this is even an issue, that he had to deal with this, but at the same time, proud that he reacted the way that he did, and he stood up for what he's so passionate about and what he believes in.
That is excellent. You know, Sean, we talk about parents getting radicalized. It looks like students are getting radicalized. I love that they both were comfortable in front of a camera, that this kid was proud. We want to get you a few more details about what's happening on the left coast as well, with students stepping out on this. Is this good news? I think it is across the country.
Well, it is good news, because first we have parents who are actually teaching their kids to stand up and fight for freedom, which, by the way, it's interesting that we're actually having a lot of Americans ask their government to give them their freedom back. God actually gave us our freedom. God made us free. We shouldn't ask our government to give it to us, number one. But what I think is interesting is, you have this scenario where you have this, leftist teacher who's actually an idiot. By the way, I don't know how he graduated from a teacher's college. But these are leftists, and we used to think back in the 70s and 80s and 90s when some of us went to high school. These are not the same teachers. These have been radicalized teachers in the teachers' colleges, and they've now come into the classroom and they're espousing these radical Marxist beliefs to our kids. And I mean, listen, I don't know how you deal with this. It's going to take, I think, generations to deal with the school system and the teachers. If you have the funding and the resources in a school near you, go to a classical education. Get your kids out of the public school. Ask your parents or aunts and uncles to help out and save your kids by getting them out of this garbage, because it's penetrating the minds of young kids and destroying, I think, our future.
Well, and the good news is, Joe, I want everybody to watch this. We've got some video of kids who were blocked in a gym because they refused to wear a mask. There were these tables up at the doors. You're going to see this. And also, they've alleged that then an adult, a teacher or a member of staff, turned off the heat to freeze them out. Do we have? I think we have that video. Can we see that? All right. Well, it's all over the internet. I guess we don't have the actual video there. There are pictures up, and I guess the thermostat issue is being debated about whether or not that occurred. But Joe, here you've got videos like that, you've got accusations like that, and then I think we have video of some of the kids storming out of one of those classrooms and of the school on the West Coast. You know, so can we see that? That would be great. All right.
If we're all walking into the school with no mask on. You can get me in trouble. They can suspend me. I don't care. We're done with this. And obviously all of you are too. We want this to be a peaceful, respectful movement. We are just trying to gain back our rights as citizens.
Wow. Now you see, Joe, I mean, this is what we're talking about. That kid, very, very good, kind of radicalized, but isn't this the American spirit?
I'd say that video is worth waiting for, Tammy, so I'm glad you pressed for it. It is the American spirit. It's also the American sentiment, right? So there's a poll out today. 70% of Americans, 7 in 10, said, OK, we're done with COVID. We just need to learn to live with that. That is a drastically different number than where we were even a couple of months ago. And it seems like every day I got to see a photo or photos of some Democratic politician or some member of a teachers union or some members of a school board or some state senator who is out with their friends. They're at like the Double Deuce or the Peach Pit. They're socializing without a mask. Rules for thee, not for these, as in Democrats. And then the next day, they're demanding your kid, my kid, they have to wear a mask for hours on end. We're in our 3rd year of this, all in the name of public safety. My kindergartner doesn't remember a time, Tammy, from preschool on up until now where he hasn't worn a mask at school. Think about that. And this is happening, by the way, and this is the data and the science that we're told to follow, as COVID cases are plummeting across the country. In Loudoun County, Virginia alone, the epicenter of this mass fight, where there's a population of more than 400,000 people, they're averaging about 200 cases per day. And I asked Alexa to figure it out for me, and that's 0.06 of the population. Public health, protecting teachers and kids, right.
You know, Alicia, I'll give you the last word on this, because with all these kids having, you know, they're pushing back now. They're seeing it on TikTok. They're seeing it on social media. This is really giving some permission to the kids to take, you know, a stand against what they think is unfair.
Tammy, also, keep in mind, 3 weeks ago, there were kids who were protesting in cities saying they didn't feel protected enough from COVID. So you have kids also protesting the mask. So the message I'm hearing, the kids don't trust the adults to take care of business, and they're frustrated regardless of the side that they're on.
Yeah, there you go. And of course, it's about the influence of the parents, which is what the teachers union seem to be upset about as well.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.